Well, hello, my friends. Is everything, let's see, do we have everything working correctly? It looks like it. Excellent. I hope everyone's doing well today. We have just a little flight from, what do we got? From Nanki-Shirahama to Fukuoka today. From the nice little resort island. We're right next to the Marriott here at Shirahama. And so we're going to be flying back to Fukuoka. So let's get her started up.
All Nippon 632 contact Tokyo Control on 127.5. Over to Tokyo Control on 127.5. All Nippon 632.
I'm trying to get the automated weather service, but it doesn't seem to be working. Yeah, it's, a flight service station, 118.55. It's not working. Okay, whatever. Excuse me. We'll just call in for information without, we'll just call in for clearance without our information then. It's not a big deal.
Nanki-Shirahama on 118.55, Juliet Alpha 8990. Tokyo Control, Skymark 3, flight level 450.
Nanki Center, this is Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. We are on the ground at Nanki-Shirahama, ready to copy for our IFR clearance to Fukuoka.
Clearance on request. You're number 1. Tokyo Control, cleared to Fukuoka via the Nanki-3 Romeo departure. Radar vectors carry then as filed. Initial climb to 4,000. Departure on 127.3 squawk 2242. Release for departure. Clearance void, if not off by 2347 Zulu. Time now 2332.
Clear to Fukuoka via the Nanki-3 Romeo departure. Radar vectors Korea then is filed. Initial climb to 4,000. Departure on frequency 27.3. Squawking 2242. Clearance void if not off by 47 Zulu. 8 Romeo Alpha.
Site Station 8, Romeo Alpha, read back correct.
Oh, I have to back course this fucking runway. Ain't that a bitch? Okay. Wait, do I? I think so. Yeah, that sucks. Okay.
Hey folks, welcome on our trip to Fukuoka. I'm Emma, and I'll be looking after you today. Please take your seats and stow any hand luggage securely. If you need any assistance, feel free to ask me. Thank you for flying with us.
Thanks, Emma. Alright. Nanki traffic, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. We are taxiing to runway 33 for takeoff. Gonna have to back course the runway.
Folks, we'll be getting underway shortly to Fukuoka with an estimated flight time of about 2 hours. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information even for frequent flyers. Fasten your seatbelts by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and pulling the strap to tighten. Remember to keep your seatbelt fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. Please ensure your seatbacks are upright and any loose items are secured. Mobile phones and electronic devices must be set to flight mode. Laptops should be stowed securely during takeoff and landing. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes are prohibited anywhere on board. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if needed. Hold the mask firmly, place it over your nose and mouth, and breathe normally. Secure your own mask before assisting others. Life vests are located under your seat. To use, pull it over your head, fasten it, and inflate it only after leaving the aircraft. Floor-level lighting will guide you to the nearest exit, which is clearly marked. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind and follow crew instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or shows signs of damage, please inform me right away. The safety information card contains all details. Thank you for your attention.
Alright, so now what we have to do is backtrack this runway. Excuse me. Because it doesn't actually have a taxiway down to the endpoint, so we go slowly. So we go slowly down to the end of the runway here. We turn around and then we take off. Unfortunately, this is kind of what you got to do at a lot of the smaller airports. Interestingly, we got the Nanki-3 Romeo departure, so I'll see if I can just switch it right to nav mode as we're taking off here, and let it fly the departure. Alright, so what we do now is we try and slow her down a little bit here. The 208 is a little squirrely at times, especially this version of it. I don't recall, the 208 was not this, yeah, see, look, I'm almost tilting the damn thing over on its side wheels. Alright, so we do flaps down. Engine power up. Lights, taxi off. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Stabilizer's way off. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I got a powerful headwind. I see what's happening here. So what we're going to do, yeah, switching it directly to nav did not work. So we're going to do, we're going to do this number. Wait, what are you doing? Ah, shit, come on. There we go. I don't know what the hell I was doing there. Nanki departure, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. We are with you at 3,000 feet for 4,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Tokyo Control, radar contact, climb 8,000.
Climbing 8,000, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. Excuse me. Alright, and we're off. We're off. What do we get? We got that direct KRE, right? Sure doesn't look like I'm doing direct KRE here. Low volts.
Citation 8, Romeo Alpha. Contact Tokyo Info on 126.75.
I don't know why it shows low power. What kind of bug is that? Tokyo Info on 26.75, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Tokyo Info, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha with you at 5,500 feet for 8,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Tokyo Info, identify. Good morning, Shirahama, QNH29er, decimal 80.
That's beautiful. She's given me the barometer in inches mercury while reading that it's a QNH. Very good. Very good. Very funny. Alright, so we're off. I don't know why. I mentioned that the 208's a little squirrely and buggy. There we go. For some reason you have to set it to bus after starter before it'll shut off ground power correctly without low voltage bug for some reason. Anyway. Hope everyone's been doing well. We didn't usually I fly a little more in the early part of the week, but it was a little busy, so we didn't really get a chance to. So we're just doing a quick little flight in Japan today. We've had a lot of X and America crossover, or I mean Japan and America crossover on X. So, hang on one second. Sorry about that. Mrs. Hammerlane, Carolina, came in to say hello, see where we were flying today. She said, "Where are you flying to?" I said, "Japan." She said, "Oh, from where?" I said, "Japan."
Shanghai Control on 134.55.
This is likely to be the most boring segment of our flight here as we fly over Wakayama Bay. As you can see, it's going to be nothing but ocean for a little while, nothing but water for the first part of our trip here. You know, Earth is mostly water, so it's surprising how often I tend to fly only above land. Anyway, so we've had a ton of crossover in the last week between America and Japanese X, and it's been wonderful. So anytime it's the evening, I like to fly real time, real weather. So anytime it's dark in the United States, I like to go fly in Japan as our greatest allies of the 21st century, Japan. We love you guys. So whenever I have the opportunity, I go fly in Japan. Today we are flying Nanki-Shirahama to Fukuoka, which my very brief Googling told me that Nanki-Shirahama is a beautiful beach resort area near Wakayama City. And apparently there's a bunch of little beautiful resort towns up and down the coast here around Yoshino Kamano National Park. Anyway, apparently it's a beautiful, beautiful place, and so we decided to fly from there to Fukuoka. I like about 2-hour flights. So believe it or not, I usually pick my arrival first, and then draw a 400-mile circle around it to pick my departure, so that my flight time is good. Whether it's the Cessna Citation or the Caravan, we end up with about 2-hour flights. Which is generally a lot of time to browse X, chit-chat with people, except I don't have any viewers, so there's nobody to talk to. That's the only downside. When I used to stream Flight Sim, it was primarily on Discord, in the R Conservative Discord. And it's kind of like just a bunch of people hanging out, chit-chatting, streaming either their screen or what they're watching or a game or something while they're chatting, and it was just like a bunch of guys hanging out. And so that was a bunch of fun, but I haven't really been back to that Discord for a while because of the way a couple of people there act.
Descend and maintain flight level 190.
So I haven't been back there, and it's not as fun to stream without people to chat to. Especially considering I do flight sim and truck sim, which are not like big, active, heavy communication games. It's more like, simulators. Although to flight sim's credit, it is a real sim. Truck sim is like, I don't know, there's two different levels of simulator going out there. There's simulator that is kind of like meant to give you an approximation of an experience, like truck simulator, farming simulator. Most of those, like power washing simulator, most of those simulator games are rounded off, fuzzy edges, meant to give you a simulation or an approximation of the experience you would have in that thing. Like truck simulator, for example, has all the controls. I have the wheel and the shifter with a button box with all the truck's like actual controls for the brakes and the air and all that stuff. So driving the truck is realistic, but the world is shrunk down 20 times. So, something that would have taken you 20 hours to drive in real life takes you 1 hour to drive in Truck Simulator. Which, it's fine, but it's kind of like doing local loads only. Nobody's playing a real-time route that's 20 hours of driving. You're doing interstate routes that in real life would be, 20 hours, but you're getting them done in an hour or two just for gaming. But Flight Simulator is completely different. Flight Simulator is real. It's study level. Every single button. Well, I say that, but the 208's kind of buggy, as we saw with the power switch situation. The 208 is a little different, but most of the planes in Flight Simulator, every single button, every single system, everything in here works. And
down to flight level 210.
You can legitimately learn to fly planes in the simulator. As you can hear, like there's actual ATC, although I'm using an application called Say Intentions for my ATC. It is powered by XAI and GPT. But yeah, this is the real deal in Flight Sim. Now I know I've heard a lot of pilots who will say things like, Flight Sim isn't the real deal. It's no, what do you say? It's no exchange for experience and actual flying, and that's true, because there's real stakes when you're flying. You need to know your shit, because the results of not knowing your shit in real flight is death. You crash your plane and you die. There's no really no walking away from that one. Whereas in the simulator, if I mess up, if something goes wrong, if I don't know something, if I do something incorrectly, it really doesn't matter at all. It's just my time. If I have to restart a flight because I did something and crashed, or if there's a weather problem and I crashed or whatever, the only thing I ever lose is my time. It's not a big deal. Bring the throttle down to 1776. Close. Patriotic engine number. You want to idle. The 208 has a couple different idling positions. And by idling positions, I mean the torque, foot-pounds of torque, right there. For takeoff, you generally want it to be in the little blue thing, the birdie. That's the apex of your power and not overheating, which is the internal turbine temperature below it. You want the turbine temperature to be as high as possible without going over about 710 in the 208. Anyway, when it comes to the foot-pounds of torque for the engine, if you were flying cargo, you would absolutely fly it at 1800, which is basically what we're doing here. Now, we are not flying cargo. theoretically we're flying all of you people, which makes us a passenger flight. And in real life, you would probably be flying this closer to like 1,400 foot-pound of torque for a quieter, kind of gentler flight, albeit a little bit slower. As you can see, we can do about 150 knots at cargo speeds. We would be doing about 135, 140 probably if I drop this down to 1,400 foot-pound of torque. But because I don't really have to worry about you guys in terms of your spine or your comfort or the audio level of the engine or the vibration or any of that, we just let her rip. Cargo power. So we're coming up on Kaiyo, Toyo, Muki, Minami. A lot of neat little villages along the coast of Japan here. Of course, ultimately our destination on this leg of the flight, I don't think it's visible on your screen yet, no, is Kochi, which is the KRE, which I inadvertently called Korea earlier. Most of these waypoints, I don't know if I should say most, a lot of these waypoints are meant to be read out loud, like Amogo, Rocky, Matsuyama, Marco, Hassie, Risuru, I'm sure that's meant to be said some other way, Carey, Stout, Kieran, Itoda, Dazai. Most of these are meant to be read out loud, and they don't always, how do you say it? They don't always lend themselves to knowing what it's actually trying to say. For instance, I read KRE by accident as Kurochi, or as Korea, but it's Kochi. NYE I knew as Matsuyama though, so good on me. We got about, what do we got? Problems in flight plan. Okay, so destination airport has a minimum of 12,000 feet for the landing procedure that I've filed for. But I don't really care. I'm going to continue at 8. 12,000's over pressurization, and I don't really feel like dealing with that. So we're going to stay at 8. I'm going to just fly the procedure at 8,000 instead of 12. See, that's one of those things I was talking about. It doesn't really matter if I do something wrong or if there's something I don't want to do exactly, then no big deal. I'm not even sure. I think in real life, with this situation, I guess I would have to get up to 12,000. I don't know. I'm not sure how that would be handled. The minimum altitude for the last step of the arrival before Dazai is 12,000 feet. I have to imagine they'd let me join it at 8,000. Not just like, sorry, you can't make 12,000 feet, so you can't land. But anyway, now that we have that set correctly, my flight planning software can actually calculate the time. We have an hour and 20 minutes until descent and about an hour and 50 minutes until arrival at Fukuoka. Japan, beautiful country, isn't it? Very mountainous, but not like too crazy. All right. Let's see now. I'm going to ask my co-pilot here, Janet, if she can deal with the radios for a minute. I have to put a quick load of laundry on and grab a cigarette, and we'll be right back. She'll deal with the radios. Computer will deal with the flight for a minute. Hey, Janet, you with me, girl?
Yes, Jack, I'm here. Just like a shadow, but less creepy. What's up?
Would you mind taking over the radios for a minute so I can grab a quick cigarette?
Sure, Jack. I'll handle the radios for you.
Alright. Gotta love AI. I've mentioned before, AI currently is getting shoehorned into a lot of things. Excuse me. Is getting shoehorned into a lot of things that really don't need to have AI in them. You know, like look at Microsoft with Windows 11. AI Copilot being shoved into every nook and cranny. Or, whatever different software on your computer is having, AI features added. Even web browsers that aren't like AI forward are like, oh, we're adding optional AI features that you can turn off and on, because they know their customer base is so anti-AI, but they don't want to be left behind by not having any AI features whatsoever. Excuse me. So AI is like taking over everything, even when it really doesn't need to. Like, do you really need a panel in your web browser that can like interpret a web page for you? I don't think so. I think if you have a curiosity, you can type in grok.com or chatgpt.com or whatever it is, and you can ask it what your curiosity is. You don't need it to explain everything you read. In fact, I would go a step further and say that needing to read the information, parse it, and then retype it into a chat interface with an AI is more beneficial to you than just reading the information once. Like if you have a curiosity about something, like say you're reading a scientific paper or some kind of say you're reading a science paper or something you're trying to learn from, and you read through it and you have a question about the material and you read it again, and that's that. Will that work? Probably. Maybe that's how humans have studied since humans have been studying. But if you take that information and then open Grok and type, hey, can you explain this concept to me a little more? The idea of gravitational lensing, or whatever you're reading about. And Grok can tell you more about it, and I think that's really cool, and that helps you learn. But do you need your web browser to just do it for you right from the thing? I don't know. I don't think so. So stuff like web browsers, even YouTube has AI integration where you can ask for a video in natural language instead of using search terms. I don't know if that's a premium only thing, but they have that. Beautiful countryside, huh? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful countryside.
Descending to flight level 220. Cleared for the next OV arrival into Kansai Smart Cache
Say Intentions, which is what I'm using for my ATC here, all the way back around to the ATC, is not just an AI forward business, it is an AI central product. It's probably, and I'll be honest, it's probably the first situation where AI is absolutely core central to the product even existing. If you have customer support that is done by AI, Like, we've done that before with real people. Right? There is no service. Now, there is Pilot's Edge, which is a paid ATC service with real pilot, like real ATC controllers. Usually, from what I hear, it's real ATC controllers who are like working a second job as a virtual ATC controller, which is kind of funny. But Pilot's Edge is expensive, and it has limited coverage. It's not the whole world. It's only certain places at certain times, and you are kind of expected to have a certain level of capability or knowledge to do it. And so, there's good and the bad there. And then there's also, what the hell is that called? VATSIM, which is volunteer. You don't have to pay for VATSIM, but because it is volunteer, it's people who, one, you apply to be a controller on VATSIM, and if you're accepted, you have to take tests, and, we got some heavy wind and some wind shear effect on the mountains here. So hopefully your seatbelts are still buckled like you were told. Anyway, VATSIM is volunteer. They have to take tons of tests and training to be a controller on VATSIM. And then most people only do it for, an hour or 2, 3 hours. So you might have an airport that's open for a couple hours in the evening and a couple other airports. And then VATSIM is also very Europe-centric. If you don't fly in Europe, you're missing out on a lot of what VATSIM has. So, a little bit of a mix there. Say Intentions, on the other hand, is the entire world, every single airport, every single position, like controller position, from ground to clearance to center, approach, tower, everything. Every single frequency, every airport, the entire world, 24 hours a day. And would only be possible with AI. And it's only like $20 a month. And I can fly as much as I want.
Control Skymark 302, flight level 38.
Oh, and it's multiplayer. You've probably noticed that some of the voices are human. Like, that was an exchange between a human and an AI. The lady controller with the bad Japanese accent was an AI. And the gentleman who is flying, who read out to her, was a real person. So this is multiplayer. You will hear real pilots. Well, I don't know if they're real pilots, but you will hear real people flying on the same frequency as you. Like, I think that guy is the SR-22 to our north, but I could be wrong. I mean, we are on Tokyo Info, so this is a pretty wide frequency. Anyway, I gave Janet the controls. I'm going to real quick put a little laundry in, grab a cigarette, and we'll be back in a minute.
Descending to flight level 230, cleared for the next OVD arrival into Kansai Xanadu 532. flight level 280. Cleared for the Yoseki arrival into Kochi All Nippon 561.
Descend and maintain flight level 210. Cleared for the ADMU GC arrival into Kansai.
Descending to flight level 210. Cleared for the ACMU GC arrival into Kansai Jeju Air 13901.
Control, Japan Air 2432, flight level 240.
Japan Air 2432, radar contact.
Alright, we're back. Oh, I forgot to mute my mic, so you were probably listening to the floor and me walk around. Sorry about that. And it looks like Janet hasn't had to do any work, so that's very good for Janet. Janet, I'll take over the radios.
Jack, you can't take over the radios right now. We're in contact with Tokyo Info and need to maintain communication as per IFR rules. It's like trying to change the channel on the telly when you're in the middle of a live broadcast. Best to leave it be for now.
What? Is that serious? Did she just tell me no? Janet, I will take over the radios now. Thank you.
Jack, you can't take over the radios right now. We're in contact with Tokyo Info and need to maintain communication as per IFR.
Listen, I'm going to stop you right there, Janet. I just hit the button and took over radios, so go.
Broadcast. Best to leave it be for now.
I don't know what she's...
Jack. You're in charge of the radios now. Just like when Toby tried to take over the karaoke machine at the pub. Let's hope it goes smoothly.
Oh, that bitch. How do I still not have my blue check verified yet? I changed my display name on X, and it's like, oh, your blue check will go away for a little while. And it's been like 24, it's been more than 24 hours. I think there was a bank holiday in India yesterday. It's probably why check verification's taking so long. Forgive me, sometimes I browse X a little bit while I'm flying. Especially since I'm lacking a crew to chat with while I fly. It's the kind of thing that makes me want to go back to Discord, back to the conservative server and fly there. At least there was people to talk to.
Japanese 625, descend and maintain flight level 250, cleared for the Miss Me arrival into Kumamoto.
Descending to flight level 250, cleared for the Miss Me arrival into Kumamoto, Japan Air 625. Tokyo Info, all Nippon 561, flight level 250.
problem with flying low in Japan is all the mountain effect. The wind shear. Wind hits mountains and gets pushed up, which comes up in the sky and hits your wings, and bounces you around a little bit. I love this Japan crossover. To my American friends, I must raise my voice about a serious issue of Japanese society. For a long time, Japanese society has ignored one of the most important and ethical contributions of American culture. The Mortal Kombat series has not been officially released in Japan for nearly 30 years.
Down to flight level 190. Cleared for the Oshima 2 hotel arrival into Tokyo Skymark 4.
Fukuoka Control, Janair 251, flight level 200.
Janair 251, radar contact.
Sorry, that was, I don't know if you could hear that. The wind effect is strong.
Fukuoka Control, Airbus 124, flight level 200.
for radar contact.
What happened? My timeline's now filled with Japanese baddies, and I'm certainly here for it. X. Blue check mark went away. Bank holiday in India, so no blue check mark for a while.
Alpha 3030, flight level 400.
Juliet Alpha 3030, radar contact.
Big clouds. I just don't understand. I've seen a couple of these posts since we're doing basically a Japan themed night, flying over Japan, talking about Japanese Twitter. People mistreating the torii gates at Shinto shrines, and I don't understand. People are fucking animals. It's beautiful. Leave it alone. Like, it's obviously not meant for you to climb on. Stop it.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact Fukuoka Control on 124.55.
I gotta pay more attention. I can't hardly understand with Japanese accent when they're calling for me. Fukuoka Control on 24.55, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Fukuoka Control, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha with you at 8,000 feet. That's cool, come out of the clouds to the city. Matsuyama.
08 Romeo Alpha Fukuoka Control Identified おはようございます仁淀川 QNH 29.991
Ohio gozaimasu, Nyodogawa. In real life, you wouldn't do that. I mean, it's cute, but you wouldn't do it. Generally speaking, ATC is conducted in English, without like the local language for safety reasons. It can be a little hard to understand, but even the Japanese controllers with Japanese pilots will use English for ATC communication. There's basically no way that if a Japanese controller heard a native English-speaking pilot, that they would speak Japanese. But, you know, it's fine. It adds a little bit of immersion in the ATC program. Where is my fucking blue check? Why is it taking almost 2 days to get this blue check situation figured out? Damn. These bay views when flying in Japan. How beautiful. Look at this. Gorgeous. What a beautiful country. Just gorgeous. Man, oh man, oh man. In fact, I gotta take a screenshot for X. This is beautiful. Hopefully it doesn't mess up my streaming too bad. Everything's still working? Yeah, I mean, fuck it, everything looks to be working okay.
Nippon 634, contact Tokyo Info on 135.65. 135.65 for all Nippon 634.
Excuse me. Matsuyama. Big ass city. Not as big as Tokyo though. Pretty city.
Korean Air 2171. Descend and maintain flight level 210. Cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee.
Matsuyama Airport.
Down to flight level 210, cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee Korean Air 2171.
Tokyo Info, Skymark 132, flight level 240.
Skymark 132, radar contact.
Kobe Control, Juliet Alpha 448, 1, flight level 460.
Juliet Alpha 448, 1, radar contact. Japan Air 2301 contact. Tokyo Info on 135.6.
135.6 for Japan Air 2301. Good day.
Tokyo Info, Jin Air 251, flight level 200.
Jin Air 251, radar contact.
Fukuoka Control, Juliet Alpha 448, 1, flight level 460.
Juliet Alpha 448, 1, radar contact.
Well, I'm in a bad mood about X. Thinking about canceling premium now, actually. My blue check has been in review for 27 hours, and you can't use any premium features while it's in review. So I'm expecting to either receive a credit for the day, now going to be 2 days, where I wasn't able to use any premium features that I pay for, because the Indians are on a bank holiday and can't be bothered to verify accounts. They keep improving one thing and making the platform suck ass for a different reason, in a different direction. I'm getting a little tired of it. Maybe I'll just cancel premium now, actually.
Skymark 132, descend and maintain flight level 200. Cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee.
Down to flight level 200. Cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee, Skymark 132.
Well, this is a nice, exciting view, isn't it? As we fly through a little bit of a storm situation.
Tokyo Control on 127.5.
Over to Tokyo Control.
I don't actually think I have weather radar, do I? I'm not 100% sure. Oh yeah, I do have weather radar. Check that shit out. I didn't honestly think the 208 had a weather radar dome. Guess so. So now we can see, now that we have the weather radar turned
Fukuoka
on.
Control, Janair 251, flight level 180.
Janair 251, radar contact.
Tokyo Control, Cathay 509er, flight level 170. Tokyo Info, Japan Air 8663, flight level 200.
Japan Air 8663, radar contact. Ava 178, descend and maintain flight level 220. Cleared for the next OVD arrival into Kansai.
Descending to flight level 220. Cleared for the next OVD arrival into Kansai, Eva 178. Kobe Control, Eva 178, flight level 320.
Eva 178, radar contact.
Well, the Japanese are just as perverted as anyone else, I see. Some lady posted a picture of her in a hot spring in a white bikini. And they write, "Foreigners, you must not wear swimsuits in Japanese hot springs. You should enter the hot springs naked. And in this case, the photos you post must also be naked."
Tokyo Info, Eva 178, flight level 320.
Eva 178, radar contact.
Uh-oh. What just happened there?
Kobe Control, Juliet Alpha 448, 1, flight
Why
level
did-
380.
Juliet Alpha 448, radar contact.
That was new. I've never seen the avionic reboot.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact Tokyo Info on 134.75.
Tokyo Info on 34.75, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Tokyo Info, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha with you at 8,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Tokyo Info identified. Good morning, Soshima QNH 29er.901. Alpha 2851. Descend and maintain altitude 7,000 feet. Altimeter 29er.901.
Down to 7,000. Juliet Alpha 2851.
Interesting.
Juliet Alpha 4481. Contact Fukuoka Control on 124.55.
Switching to Fukuoka Control on 124.55. Juliet Alpha.
A quick Google says that it's relatively common for the PFD to glitch out and reboot. It's not great.
Descending to flight level 200. Cleared for the Havoc arrival into Osaka, Japan Air 2402.
Copy Control, Juliet Alpha 383, 1, flight level 280.
Juliet Alpha 3831. Radar contact.
Sorry, I'm reading. Trying to see if anybody else was having problems with their blue check not being enabled for a long time, but I didn't see anybody talking about it.
337, radar contact.
160, cleared for the pedal 2 arrival into Gimhae Air Busan 147.
Fukuoka Control, Korean Air 2129er, flight level 280.
Korean Air 2129er, radar contact.
Fukuoka Control, Juliet Alpha 383, 1, flight level 270.
Juliet Alpha 3831, radar contact.
Kobe Control, Starwalker 834, flight level 320.
Starwalker 834, radar contact. Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Fukuoka Control on 124.55.
Fukuoka Control on 24.55, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Fukuoka Control, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha with you at 8,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Fukuoka Control identified. Good morning, Iwakuni. QNH 29.901. All Nippon 673, descend and maintain flight level 260. For the Vista arrival into Hiroshima.
Descending to flight level 260. Cleared for the Vista arrival into Hiroshima, all Nippon 673.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, expect the Kairin arrival. Plan for descent in maybe 20 minutes. Starwalker 834, descend and maintain flight level 220. Cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee.
Down to flight level 220. Cleared for the KTE arrival into Okeechobee, Starwalker 834.
Tokyo Info, all Nippon 673, flight level 270.
All Nippon 673, radar contact.
Tokyo Control, all Nippon 584, flight level 170.
All Nippon 584, radar contact.
Fukuoka Control.
Whoops, see, I didn't catch that.
Flight level 180.
Expecting Kieran arrival, planning for descent in 20 minutes, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. I didn't catch that they were talking to me. Whoops. I love the cherry trees in Japan.
Tokyo Control, all Nippon 584, flight level 170.
All Nippon 584, radar contact. Orange 127.15.
Over to Tokyo Info on 127.15, orange liner 440.
Starwalker 834, contact Tokyo Info on 135.3.
135.3 for Starwalker 834, good day. Tokyo Info, Starwalker 834, flight level 320.
Starwalker 834, radar contact.
Back into the clouds. Sort of. As they kind of load and change around you. Oh, I wonder if the weather radar turning on crashed the PFD on that side.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact Fukuoka. Approach on 119.175.
Fukuoka approach on 19.175, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Fukuoka approach, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha with you at 8,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha. Fukuoka. Approach identified. Good morning from Fuku NH 29.901. Expect the localizer runway 16 right approach into Fukuoka.
Good morning, expecting localizer into 16 right on Fukuoka, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. What? 16 right. There is no 16 right. Okay, good job AI. I guess, shit. Hey, Fukuoka approach. My plates of your airport is showing a 16 left and a 34 right. Which are we doing?
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Runways 34 left and 34 right are active. Expect localizer runway 34 right approach.
Copy that, expecting localizer 34 right.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha cleared Kirin into Fukuoka.
Cleared Kirin into Fukuoka, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. give me 1 second. I have to change that laundry over that I talked about earlier. And I'm going to grab a quick cigarette because we have about 20 minutes until descent. And this will be my last chance, so we'll be right back.
Alpha 222, 1 contact Hofu Tower on 138.3.
Switching to Hofu Tower on 138.3, Juliet Alpha 2221.
Alright, we're back to finish up this little soiree. We got 15 minutes until descent. Excuse me, nose is running. I love coming out of the clouds in Japan and just seeing this beautiful country laid out in front of you. It's wonderful. Oh, I guess I should pop this open. Oh, we do have VNav enabled for this, does this think my descent's gonna start? Okay. The text link service with ATC has just given me my arrival gate is USA Air Force Stand Healy 4. They're directing me to the Air Force parking.
Over to Fukuoka.
Is it because I'm an American?
124.55, Japan Air 292.
Descend 7,000 feet, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha.
Descending to 7,000 feet. Citation 208 Romeo Alpha.
I forgot to shut her off. Descend 6,000 feet, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Descend 4,000 feet, turn left heading 245 vectors for RNAV 16 right approach, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Excuse me. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat that just won't go away. why she's... They have this airport messed up. They got the runways incorrect. There's something wrong with your understanding of this airport. The way you're turning me is not going to result in the runway you want. Can I just fly the ILS for runway 34 right?
Citation 8, Romeo Alpha, runway 34 right, ILS approach is available. Expect it.
Copy that, expecting 34 right ILS, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Negative Fukuoka approach. I was approved to fly the 34 right ILS approach.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. I'll bring you back towards the airport in a moment. Turn left heading 190 vectors for the ILS runway 34 right approach.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm ready to be done. I'm not dealing with vectors when I'm at dangerous altitudes. Fukuoka approach, again, that's a negative. We are under an altitude that is not safe given terrain. Because of mountains, it is important that we fly the approach as it is written. Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Understood. Maintain 4000. Follow the ILS 34 right approach as published.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood to screw around with vectors from the AI. The problem is the AI isn't aware of... Ooh, that's interesting. the AI isn't aware of terrain, and so it will sometimes vector you into a fucking mountainside, especially in places like Japan where there's just random mountains everywhere. In some places where the terrain is flat, it's really not much of a problem. Anywhere with an interesting setup where flying the approach as published is important due to terrain, I will not let them vector me. Like flying into Case in Colorado, for example, is a death trap if you try to let it vector you, because you'll end up in a mountainside. It's important to just fly the approach as published. Now, in real life, obviously, the ATC might vector you, but they know, where it is safe to do so, while the ATC in this game does not. Subsequently, we will fly the approach as published. This approach is specifically going to weave us in between mountains and through a valley to make sure that we clear. And even then...
Condition 8, Romeo Alpha. Don't let heading 185.
Fukuoka approach, we just discussed that due to terrain, it is not safe for you to vector me. We will be flying the approach as published due to safety. Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. Okay, I'm so glad I got permission again. This is the third time now that I've been approved to fly the ILS for 34 right as published. Because I just don't trust them not to fly me into a fucking mountain. Like, you can see this weird approach shape here, and it's for a reason. This is a good opportunity to fly in third person, though, to let you see more of Japan as we fly. Fly these final little bits of this approach. I wonder if civil aviation is as much of a thing in Japan as it is in the US. Like in the United States, I would venture that every given person, I mean, unless you're in certain like cliques or what have you, certain demographics, most people probably meet like one private pilot in their life, like one guy who has gone and gotten his pilot's license, whether or not he actually flies, definitely whether or not he owns a plane. I would wager that most people have met one pilot, and possibly more than one person training to be a pilot. You know, I have two airports around me, little airports, like regionals, and each of those has probably between 20, maybe between, I'm not even sure, maybe between 10 and 40 planes parked. And so I'm guessing there's somewhere between 50 and 80 planes.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, turn left heading 175.
See, look, she's still trying to get me to vector in when we insist we're not doing that, so I'm just going to ignore her from now on. So, you know, somewhere between 50 and 80 planes in my little suburb of a bigger metro. And, you know, it's not a lot, given there's probably 50 to 80,000 people in the area that those two airports cover. But I don't know. I wonder what the population to airport or to pilot ratio in Japan is like. Is it all airliners? Is it, you know, airliners and business jets? Is it normal to see some GA aircraft? General aviation. Check on things. Yeah, okay, so we got that turn at Dazai. Hey, Dazai. Is that a Bungo Stray Dogs reference? Got that turn at Dazai. And once we complete that turn, we'll line up for do our final little bits of prep for the ILS landing that ATC is insistent that we're not doing. Beautiful. I love these kind of shots. Alright, once we hit Dazai here, in about 30 seconds, we will make a big right turn, which will line us up with the runway. And once we're lined up with the runway, I'll have to switch inside and do some final prep. And get ready to bring this beast on down to the ground. Man, I hope I get my Twitter checkmark back by tomorrow. I'm getting a little pissed off, especially because my premium features don't work until it's back.
Romeo Alpha, 5 miles from AD Bar. Turn right heading 220. Cleared for the ILS runway 34 right approach.
Cleared for the ILS runway 34 right approach, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. We're going to ignore everything about the turn right heading because I still, like, that actually might be correct, what she's telling me now. But we're just going to kind of ignore it anyway. And finish flying the approach as published. All of these cute little towns. It's really, oh man, I would really love to visit this area. Look at that. These little towns that are just separated by a couple of fields along a river.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, contact Fukuoka Tower on 118.25.
Fukuoka Tower on 118.25, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha. Fukuoka Tower, Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha, inbound ILS runway 34 right at 4,000 feet.
Citation 208 Romeo Alpha, Fukuoka Tower, Roger, continue approach.
we finish this turn, and what we're going to do is set that. Excuse me. Our landing lights are on. So now the plane is being guided by the radar localizer at the airport, and in a second it'll start calculating the distance between the radars at the end and beginning of the runway, the far and near side, and use that to calculate how quickly it should be dropping. And we will follow that indicator right there, the little green diamond that's dropping down. As you can see, excuse me. As you can see, there's some cloud cover, and according to the weather radar here, we're going to pass through some rain. And so we want to appreciate the creators of ILS for making this tool to help you land in clouds. And the Cessna 208 does not have an auto throttle like the Cessna Citation does. You know, in the Citation, I can set auto throttle during landings and just kind of forget about it. But the 208 does not have that, so we are in total control of our energy as we fly. I want to keep it under 150 knots on approach. I tend to keep in turboprops, if I can, I'd like to keep my energy as high as possible. At bigger airports, just so I don't cause go-arounds for people who are sequenced behind me. That said, you know, I am a single-engine turboprop, so if I have to cut energy faster for safe landing, that's what we'll do. Now, the Cessna 208 does not have how do you say? It does not have
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha, winds 260 at 9er, runway 34 right, clear to land.
Winds 260 at 9er, runway 34 right, clear to land, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha. The shit, I forget completely what I was talking about. It's fine, doesn't matter. Oh, right. I was going to say the citation or the 208 does not have retractable gear. It's fixed gear. But generally speaking, you want to have your gear up by gear down by like 1,500 feet at the latest. Every airline has different policies on that. But in the 208, I take gear up, or I mean rather gear down by 1,500 to mean I need to be in approach, getting into landing speed rather than approach speed, flaps down, that sort of thing. I'll be honest, I can't even see the airport yet. I mean, it should be directly ahead. Oh, there it is. Alright, so we're gonna cut some more energy off. As we get down to flap speed. Oh, wonderful. So, I don't know if you can see this. My PFD just crashed. We'll see if it recovers. That's very bad, actually. Super bad. So, we're kind of flying this manually instead, because whatever fucking glitch caused that. As you can see, our the localizer's no longer aligned. And we're kind of... There we go, back online. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, we're essentially flying this bitch manually. Wind's hard, and the autopilot is not guiding well. Come on, find me some ground here. That wasn't a great landing. Whatever happened to the PFD at the end there kind of messed up my everything. Messed up my everything. Things stopped working quite correctly.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Contact ground on 121.7.
Ground on 121.7, Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha, thank you. Cessna 208 Romeo Alpha to Fukuoka ground. Request taxi to the GAFBO.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Taxi to USA Air Force Stan Heli 4 via Charlie 5. Hold short of runway 34 left. Then Whiskey 6 Bravo Juliet 1. Good day.
34 left, then continue taxi via... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Whiskey 6 Bravo Juliet 1 to Air Force Stand Heli 4. Cessna 8 Romeo Alpha.
Citation 8 Romeo Alpha. Cross runway 34 left.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you. I wonder where the hell it's taking me here. Say Intention's understanding of this airport is a little whack, to say the least. So check it out. We're gonna park over here. Right here. Sounds good. Alright, we got the batteries on. Alright. Thank you everybody for flying with me today. Welcome to the beautiful city of Fukuoka, Japan. A little bit of an awkward, rough landing, but it is what it is. I had a fun time flying with you, complaining about X, and talking about the X/America crossover. It's been a good time, fun time, and we'll have to do it again sometime. So, yeah, we'll see you again soon.